All right.
Only thing is, if I say something incorrect, you guys have to correct me because,
Okay.
every now and then you do get a little bit nervous. And I don't know how many of you guys watched Monique video that she just did a couple days ago on the comp plan. But even in that video, even Monique, Royal Crown Diamond, who's doing this video for like thousands and thousands and thousands of people, even she, messed up a few times, saying stuff that was either incorrect or things that she would slip up and say, and then she'd be like, oh shoot, wait, like somebody's correcting her on the comments, so we're not perfect, obviously, but I will do my best to make sure that I accurately give you all the info you need to know. So really, really quickly, I am Tamara Gibbs. I am in Platinum with Young Living. For those that don't know, I have been doing this business technically just over 4 years. It was 4 years in April. I got my kit, though, about like 4.5 years. I got it the very, very end of November, around Black Friday, like Thanksgiving time. So I didn't start the business right away. I had a young infant at home at the time, and I also had a 3-year-old at home. And I am a little different in the sense that I was a stay-at-home mom. I was not teaching any longer. I used to be a teacher, and once I had my daughter, who was 3, I was no longer a teacher. So I was not looking for a job. I was not looking for something to keep me home with them. I wasn't looking for something that would replace an income I already had or that kind of stuff. So my approach to when I joined this business is different than some people's, but I think the factor that I wasn't money motivated in the beginning for this and everything else, I think gave me a bigger perceptive, a better perception on how other people could make money, like how other people could do it. Because since that wasn't my direct motivation coming in, I didn't study the comp plan when I first came in. I didn't even know like what ER really was. I didn't know, obviously, like if I sold a kit, if I didn't sell a kit, like what I got, what I didn't got, or what I didn't get. And I feel like there was a lot of decisions that I made early on that I obviously was like, gosh, I wish somebody would have told me, or I wish I would have learned this, or I wish I would have taken the time, to come in and really focus on this right from the beginning, because I feel like it could have impacted my business so, so differently. And so basically this is a like learn from my mistakes and then share it with everybody I can think of so that other people don't make the same. And granted, if you've been in the business for years and years, or you've been in the business literally for a few days, I feel like it's never too late for us to be able to fix things. There's certain items that obviously we now have to do workarounds, or we have to kind of figure out a new flux for it or something if it's already established. But that doesn't mean we can't correct it for legs, 4 or 5 or 6, or, our stuff as we move forward to be like diamond or crown diamond. So it's obviously something that I feel is really, really important. And for those that don't know, I am blue. I am blue and some more blue, and then I have red and I have yellow. I have literally 0 green. So if I can come to you and tell you how important the comp plan is and how important the structuring and, knowing your numbers are from a blue perception, it's important. Because honestly, I could care less about a spreadsheet. I could care less about what my daily OGV number compared to last month is and all this kind of stuff that a lot of green people look at. Yet the comp plan is hugely important. So obviously that's my little spiel, is that this is not just for greens. This is not just for reds, you know, because reds are usually motivated by like the money or the competition or the aspects of like moving up in ranks. This is for everyone. Like truly, it should be the first thing you memorize when you come into this business, and it should be whatever you keep reviewing like every couple months. When people ask you, you should be able to just ramble off what those requirements are as if it was like 2 + 2 or 4 + 4 type idea. It should be something that rolls off your tongue very easily, because as I heard Monique say the other day, she said, you wouldn't ever take a job with another company or like someone else and walk into a corporate job or a waitress job or any childcare position or teaching or whatever you're doing. You wouldn't ever walk into another job and say, you're hired, and you go, great. And then you go home and you're like, super, I got a job. And then your husband or whoever's like, well, that's great. Like, what days are you working? I don't know. How much are you making? I don't know. Well, how do you get paid? I don't know. But I got a job and I'm going to go to work. Like, nobody's going to do that, right? Nobody's going to ever do that. But yet, for some reason, when it comes to this business, people do that all the time. People do that all the time. They say, yes, I want to sign up and I want to do the business. And then you say, great. And then as a leader, what do we do next? You know, it's kind of like, if you're agreeing, you're going to overwhelm them with every single detail and fact of what they need to know. Clearly, if they're not agreeing, they're going to be like, whoa, back off. I don't get it. Like, it's totally over my head. I'm way overwhelmed, right? If you're a blue and they are agreeing, clearly they're going to feel like they're not getting enough info. And you're going to be like, come on, it's fun. Just join me, right? So there are certain things that we do need to make sure that we as leaders are telling new people. But there's also stuff we need to make sure that we're not like overwhelming them with. And the more we understand the comp plan and the more we understand structuring and all of that kind of stuff, you will find the easier it is to talk about and the easier it is to gauge how much info you should tell somebody and how much you can kind of like leave for them to find out like bits and pieces as you lead them to the information type idea. So my first thing is that I tell anybody and everybody who wants to do the business, this is kind of my little spiel, was just like, when they ask, you know, like, well, how did you get started? Or how much money do you make? Or, you know, like, what have you been doing and everything else? I always start with by telling them that just as I told you guys, my approach was a little bit different. I had actually sent 9 referrals to my enroller before she finally convinced me that this was just something that it would be better for me to do. On my 10th one is when she finally was like, I'm just going to put it under you as the enroller and like you can catch on as you go. It was like that kind of thing. So in my case, I always tell people it's, again, that thank you link, right? It's your thank you from Young Living. You get a thank you check. We'll give you a referral link. You go ahead and you use that referral link just as you would if it was a referral link to, you know, Stitch Fix, or a referral link to your like Amazon Prime, or a referral link to your local boutique or nail shop or whatever it is. It's no different. People are used to referral links nowadays. So I literally am just like, here's your referral link. And I give it to the people right away now when they sign up. Literally from the day they sign up, I just say, hey, by the way, here's your referral link in case you have anybody you know that is absolutely going to be loving their oils just like you are when you get your kit or things you want to talk about. Here's your referral link. And Young Living will automatically send you a $50 check as long as you purchase $50 worth of product that month. So that is my very just simple. If they ask me further type thing, which some of them will say, well, so wait, like, tell me more about that, or what do you mean, or whatever. And I'll just say, well, just like when you signed up under me, like when I get a $50 thank you from Young Living. And I do understand that not everybody, wants to do this as a business like I am doing, but I want to give you that opportunity just in case. So here's your link just in case you do decide this is something that like your mom or your sister or somebody is in love with. And of course, I will always be here to be your oil concierge, and I will even be here for them too. I will be here to help and guide them, and they can join the groups and they can be in our community and everything else that's needed. But I will, of course, always be here for you guys. If for some reason that's something that you just absolutely do not want to do, then here is my link that you can hand out to your friends and family or whatever, people that you talk to oils about. And I will go ahead and I will give you $25. So you can earn double thank you from Young Living, or I will give you 25 towards, oil purchases in the future. I give them that info right off the bat. I used to never do that, and I'm telling you, it makes such a big difference nowadays. Such a difference, because they don't even realize that by buying their kit, they've already completed, step one. Like, it's not some crazy requirements with some of the other MLMs. There's not those really high monthlies. Like, a lot of other MLMs are $300, $400, $500 sometimes a month in order to just receive any sort of paycheck. And other ones also sometimes require a special business kit to be purchased, which it's like a big kit of stuff where it costs, like $1,500, but then you have everything you need, to do the business. So it's nice to let them know kind of right off the bat that that is not something required. Actually, are there any questions about that before I go on? Does anyone, you can take yourselves off mute if there is, or I can always read the typing comments if not, but.
Tamara?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
So I've never sent anybody their link. I've always just told them if they have people interested that they just need to share their member number with them. Do you really find the link is a benefit?
Yes.
Okay.
Because everybody nowadays is kind of like instant gratification. Like, what can make it the easiest on them? What can make it the most simple? Like, you'll even notice even in all our groups, somebody will give the name of a product, like straight up. They'll be like, well, it's called the Blue Purple 2 ounce on Amazon or whatever. And somebody will still be like, do you have a link? Do you have a link? Like, or can I have the link to that product? Can I have the link to the book, to the, whatever? Like, somebody actually asked for a link to the book the other day, and we were kind of like, well, it's the name of a book. Like, if you just type it in, like, it is the first thing that pops up. But again, people are always looking for that really fast, easy, whatever. And then I also find it's very, very less likely that they will then screw up somehow and forget to put your number in, or forget, like, transpose a number or something like that. And then, obviously that can sometimes be a mess too, because then it goes to like the Young Living Placement Program and you have to try to like get them switched over. So make it as simple as possible. So however you can make it the most simple for people to either sign up or send a referral your way, either way, best thing to do is just make it simple.
So we can actually use the link generator to make links for our downline.
Yes. So what I do is I just take the link generator that I have, obviously, for my actual link. I don't ever shorten the links, because depending if you ever need them to change the link for some reason, like let's say they sign somebody up and they're like, hey, how do I send my friend the link now? You can then tell them like, oh, all you do is go in and change the little spot on the link where it says enroller and then da-da-da-da-da-da-da and sponsor da-da-da-da-da-da. You're just going to take out that like 8 or 9 digit number and you're going to plug yours right in. So it makes it easy if it's not shortened, like URL type style, because then they can clearly see like where those numbers are in there and where it kind of all works. So I just link generator, and then I pull out my number and I plug straight in their number, and then I send it to them once I've done that.
So if you have them where you enroller and they were the sponsor, can you also do a link that way with the two different member numbers? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And if you know that, for instance, and again, this is me. This is not what everybody does. But for instance, if I have somebody that signs up for ER right away or within a short time frame, and they also say to me, oh, hey, my mom wants to get a kit, but I don't want to sign her up. I don't want, whatever. Like, I want you to take care of everything for me, like that kind of thing. I will instantly make them the sponsor, just because they're on ER already, which is usually like one of our kind of prerequisites or, those things. And B, if they're already kind of like excited or they're already sending somebody supposedly my way, then usually it's a pretty good sign that they might end up continuing to talk about their oils or continuing to want to refer people. So in that case, I will automatically make them the sponsor of, even if I'm still giving them the referral bonus because I'm the enroller, I will automatically make them the sponsor. And you can do that in the link too. You just obviously make sure your number is the enroller and make sure theirs is the sponsor, which I have a couple people that way, that when they signed up, they were, already like, hey, I want to have a party. I want to do this or that and that kind of stuff. And so I do have some people that are that way. So
does everybody know how to make a link generator?
If not,
everybody get no. We got one no.
Okay.
We got one no.
I'm going to turn on my light because it's getting really dark now, right?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I'm like, and then I can walk you guys through it if not.
Well, and I can show you guys too. I'll put some pictures up. It's not hard. You just have to go to member resources in your back office, scroll down to my link, and then it will actually just have the whole URL for you. So it's not it's just a couple steps in your VO, in your back office, in your virtual office. It's just member resources, go to my link, and then it's right there. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I just want to make sure everybody kind of knew how to do that. You good, Becca? Okay. And if you need more questions, let me know.
Yeah. And if you have Oily Tools, you can also do it straight in Oily Tools also. In Oily Tools, it is an option literally on your like main setting page. It's like you click on the little 3 bars that are on the side of your first page, and then it's like without even scrolling. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see right there? It says like link generator, like YL link generator. And so you just click on that. And when you click on that, it gives you different options, like right there. So all you're going to do is just click on that little like clipboard one. I have heard that the email version, like there's a little email envelope right there, and supposedly you can like click on the email one and then type up a little message and it'll send it straight to the member. However, I have heard that it frequently goes to spam. So I do not recommend doing it that way. I recommend clicking on that little clipboard, which is the middle one, like right there. And then it'll copy it to your phone. And then you can just copy and paste into the normal email or Facebook message or whatever it is that you're sending to the person. Because like I said, I have heard that the other stuff frequently goes to spam. So obviously that wouldn't be fun, because then you just be like, why are they not responding? And odds are they didn't get it. So yeah, there's 2 different ways you can do it. And when you do, obviously go to paste it into the actual email itself, you'll just like this part right here. I don't know if you guys can actually read that because it's fuzzy, but this part right here where the number is, like you can see it on my bottom line right there. And then also this part over here are going to be the 2 numbers that you replace. So one actually says enroller and one says sponsor. So those are going to be the numbers you replace. Are there any other questions before I move on from the links and everything? No? Okay. So let's talk about now that you have this new person, right? You have this new person you signed up. Let's pretend that they are not connected to anybody in your oil organization or anywhere. They don't know anybody. They were a random friend of yours on Facebook. They're not, you know, the sister or the mom or the best friend or the child acquaintance or whatever of anybody in your downline. Okay, so let's switch gears in that sense and just pretend you're signing up a brand new person. Okay, with this brand new person, again, I just went through those. They are not connected to anybody else in your downline. So because they are not connected to anybody else in your downline, your choice for strategically placing this person is going to be wide open, basically, right? Because some of the parameters we use for strategic placement are, do they know anybody else? Like, are they associated with somebody else in your downline? Or, you know, are they, again, like best friends, church acquaintance? Are they, you know, in the same school, in the same mom's group? Do they have the same, like, circle of influence? Do they run together in anything? Do they live in the same cities? And maybe they don't know each other, but they live in the same city, you know? And so the potential of them to do a class together or do some sort of, you know, activity or like a customer appreciation or any of that kind of stuff. These are things you want to consider. You also want to consider, do they like each other? And as silly as that may sound, if they know each other, do they like each other? Because I personally, along with a couple other people I know, have strategically placed people and not really thought about that because you were kind of like, oh, well, you know, they know each other from mom's group, but like, I know they're not really friends, but they know each other. So it'd be good to just stick them together, you know, in case they sign up any of the same people. Well, yeah, let's make sure they like each other. If they know each other, make sure they like each other because, yeah, I had that backfire really big on me one time. And the girl literally transferred out of my downline because of it. And I was like, look, I can just move you out of that leg. And she was like, no, like, I'm done. I was like, okay. So people can be a little silly, but let's just consider, do they like each other as another option for us? So with that, then our next thing after we kind of consider all those things, right? After we kind of consider like all of these little parameters, if the answer is still no, like they have no connection, no ties, no nothing to my downline, then the next thing we need to ask ourselves is not from our heart, but from our head. And we need to say, where is the smartest place for me to place this person? And I'm telling you, your level 1 is not the answer. Unless you are absolutely, positively, 1,000% sure that this is going to become a new leg for you and you actually need a new leg. If you don't need a new leg, which, by the way, hold up your fingers. How many legs do we actually need for Royal Crown Diamond? Okay, I'm seeing 6, which is awesome, right? 7 if you want to have that backup, right? If you want to have that backup one where that 7th one is in case leg number 5 all of a sudden is like, you know what? I had my mom and my sister-in-law and they went to this retreat and then like Joe Schmo ended up brainwashing them and now we are all hopping on the doTERRA bandwagon, right? We don't ever want that to happen, but it can. It can. It actually happened to my 4th leg and 7 people all left, right? There was nothing I could do to change their minds because by the time they had literally left this beauty counter conference, they were so brainwashed from the beauty counter conference that this girl with doTERRA there was no saving. Like I couldn't do anything, right? That was 7 business people because they were all beauty counter people too. So, and they were related and they knew each other and the whole thing. Well, there you go, right? So technically a 7th leg is never a bad idea, but we really only need 6 to be paid, 7 if you want your little backup. So we have our 6 and then we have our 7th, which is kind of like just in case I'm over here, right? Can also serve as your PGV leg because once you reach silver and above, we need 1,000 PGV, which is your personal gross volume or your personal group volume, whatever you want to chime it as, right? Some people say personal gross volume, some say personal group volume. With that, what that means is that you need 1,000 personal volume outside of any leg that you use to qualify for your rank. So at silver, you need 2 legs. At gold, you need 3. Diamond, you need 4. Platinum, you need 4. Diamond, you need 5. Crown diamond, you need 6. Royal crown diamond, you also need 6. So when you do get, obviously, to royal crown or crown, and you need those 6 legs, this 7th leg right here is going to be really handy to cover that PGV and that kind of stuff, just in case you need it. Now, granted, by the time, you always hear people say, by the time you reach like crown and royal crown and stuff like that, you're literally a product of the product. You're using your stuff. You're recommending it to everybody. You're doing, giveaways and incentives and different things for your team. From what I've heard, it's not that hard to spend 1,000 yourself, and your paycheck is so big by then, nobody really cares about spending 1,000 themselves. But again, that 7th leg is always nice to have just in case you need it. And with the new husband being able to sign up on August 1st thing coming up, obviously I recommend starting a new leg with this. And we can talk about that later if you guys want. I can give you my whole opinion on it and why. But if you need another leg and you don't already have 7 legs, then I highly recommend starting a new one. Because again, this will give you the opportunity to truly have control and be able to build and develop and grow a whole nother young living business. And for some of you, that might sound very overwhelming, but at the same time, it is going to be double as rewarding for you, especially because you will then be receiving double the paycheck. So, why not, right? But with saying that, back to the legs. We technically only need 6 legs. So like I said, it will be very, very rare that you will have somebody come into this business, sign up as a member and instantly say, I want to do the business too. In that case though, that they do that and you need an extra leg, you need an extra person or whatever it is, then that's when you really need to strategically say, is it best to leave it on my level 1 or is it best to put a business person under one of my other legs? In that case, obviously, please, 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 talk to your upline about it. Talk to Wendy. You can even talk to me. I mentor Tammy and Jen and Robin, and I would be happy to mentor some of the other of you guys if you need it. But again, when you just sell or sign someone up, share the love of the oils with them and everything else, and at that time, they have 0 interest in the business or whatever it is, then more than likely that person is going to go on your level 2, 3, 4, somewhere under one of your existing business people so that you can help build a business, not just for you, but build a business for them. Okay. So in that case, again, this person is not connected to anybody. They're not anybody's friend. They're not anybody's, pastor at the church in which they kind of know each other or they both attend the same coffee shop or whatever. This person that you're signing up is just coming on in and you are like, wow, I just, need somewhere to put this, 300 PV that they just signed up for because they signed up for ER and they're so excited and they wanted all the bonuses, right? We're going to cross our fingers for that for all of you guys. But in that case, you need to look at, again, with your head and not with your heart. Okay, this is the point that you need to say, where in my business makes the most sense for me to strategically place this person? And more than likely, like I said, it's not going to be your level one. More than likely, it is going to be under one of your business builders that you have. And if you're brand new to this business and you don't have any business builders yet, then let's definitely talk about what ER people that you have. And if you have only, let's say, 2 people on ER, let's talk to those people and let's just say, hey, look, I love sharing oils and I love what I'm doing right now. And I actually have 5 or 6 people that I have helped this month come, to Young Living. And I would really like to talk to you about the possible opportunity of just getting you a small thank you check by allowing me to place these people underneath you. And you can use it towards your shipping, or you can use it towards an oil purchase or something else that you want to do in the future. And I just want to make sure that's okay. Okay? Most people, most of the time, will say yes. They're just like, well, what does that mean? And you're like, nothing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to whatever. I just want to make sure you're okay with knowing that if you ever do decide to start this business, or knowing that I am here for you and that this is one of my ways that I help my team out, by assisting with building a business or assisting with, strategically placing people. And this is something that our community works together on. And most of the time people are like, okay, and if they're on ER, they're usually grateful for even those like couple dollars they'll receive that they can then use towards, like I said, shipping, or they can use it towards, like getting a free vitality oil or something like on you, right? So those kind of give you options that way. But let's just assume for right now that you've been in the business for a little while. And let's assume that you have, several people on your level 1, and then some on your level 2, and some on your level 3. And you have some business builders kind of sporadically in those areas, but you also have like some definite check collectors going on in those areas, right? Meaning, and everybody knows what I mean by check collector, right? They're on ER, they do their 100 PV, they have people below them, but they personally are not selling. And if they do, they are kind of like a referral, once every 6 months or maybe once a year. And it's usually like their mom or their sister or somebody, that they sporadically sign up. Right? They're not actively pursuing this. They're not in the Facebook groups jumping all over things and reading all the information or trying to do like personal growth. So in that case, we all have those. But again, let's say that you're 300 PV person coming in or anything else, and you're like, wow, I just really don't know where to put them. Then again, this is when we're going to do our head, and we're going to say, okay, I am wanting to make the rank of silver. I'm not there yet, but I'm wanting to make the rank of silver. And actually, you know what, you guys? I just realized, do you want me to whiteboard this for you? Would that be easier? Because I am very visual of a person, but am I losing you guys, or should I whiteboard it? Whiteboard it? Okay. So.
No, whiteboard it. Definitely whiteboard it. I need to see it.
Okay. I'm like, because I am very visual too. Okay, so don't mind me. I'm going to like turn you all around here, and then like I'll put you closer. Okay. I'm like, okay, because I am total whiteboard, like, okay. Do you like my whiteboard my husband decorated for me?
So I think one of the hardest things, and the questions that I get all the time, is when you have a new person, we want to put them on our first level because that's where we make the most money. Why would we start to build a business underneath and use the strategic placement to be able to benefit us? I think that's the hardest thing for people to see, or at least the most questions that I've got with this whole thing is how to build the leg strategically so that it benefits you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Maybe I'm on the wrong track. If I'm on the wrong track for the rest of you guys, then jump in.
Oh. I was like, apparently he wrote Sevilla and possibly not extra marker.
Maybe wet rock. Does it come off with water?
I know. I'm like, where's the thieves when I need it?
There you go.
If it's permanent, you can write over it with the dry erase marker and it should mark off.
Oh, awesome. Like, oh yeah.
Oh, you're a genius. Look at that.
I'm like, okay, well, it won't be perfect, but we'll go with it. Just don't mind my red in the middle here. I'm like, it's working though, right? Kind of. Okay. Okay, is that clean enough, at least for the moment? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that then. Okay, so we'll just put me. Can you guys see that? No, it's kind of light. Okay, hold on.
It's good. It's a little bit light, but it's good.
I was like, I have lots more markers. Like I have thicker ones too. But sometimes the thicker ones, you know, then when you're writing a lot, they get like all jumbled together. So yeah. I just kind of figured, okay. I'm going to turn it this way too.
Guys, and feel free to ask questions. Yeah. This is the part that
we can make this interactive, you guys, at this point. I mean, it'll be kind of sad for those that have to watch the recording, but I mean, you guys took the time to be on the call, and at this point, like, we can make it interactive so that way you guys can ask and we can understand it better. So, so for most of you on the call tonight, put up the number 3 with your fingers if you're executive, 4 if you're silver, 5 if you're gold, and 2 if you're senior star.
We've got people that are just getting started too. That's
fine. So if you're star, put up a 1, or just started, you can put up a 1. X and okay. Okay, perfect. So that way I am going to literally start at star then, because we have everybody on the call. So I'll start at star and then just go from there. So we're going to be this person right up here, okay? So right now this person is going to be star, which means that this person has how much OGV? Good, 500. 500 OGV. That means overall group volume. So your whole group together. So this person, because they just started, they are going to probably fit into our category of possibly not having a business person yet. But they are gung-ho. And they were super excited this month. And they signed up 4 people. Okay? So they signed up these 4 people this month. So they have 100 PV. They signed up 4 people, and each one has 100 PV. So that's how we're at our 500 now, right? So 500 OGV for this group. So they are now star, okay? With them being star, which is totally awesome, right? They are starting out. However, none of these people under here right now at this time decided to do ER. So what's that person going to do? Obviously, at this point, she's just starting. So these people have to stay on her level 1, right? There's nobody on ER. There's nobody that has now, you know, decided to do the business. So at this point, she's going to have to leave these people on her level 1 because she doesn't have anyone to place under. Okay. However, in month number 2, she then goes and signs up 3 more people. Okay. 3 more people. And with these 3 more people she signs up in her month number 2, this person right here now decides to go for ER. And they've kind of been asking a few questions about the business, but they haven't totally pulled the trigger yet and everything else, but they're considering it. So our star that's up here, she now says, and I'm going to talk in regards to August 1st right now, only because I know this video is going to be out there and it's going to be around. So I don't want to confuse anybody, but until August 1st, we only have 20 days to make changes. After August 1st, we will have 30 days to make changes. So in this video purpose, I am going to talk 30 days just because I know that this video will still be there and technically it's almost August, right? So this person is now on ER and this person is actually talking about the business and asking some questions and, you know, is like, this might be something I'd be interested in. So our star up here is going to say, well, you know what? I have a couple other friends that I recently signed up. And would it be okay with you if I, you know, strategically place them under you? It doesn't change anything for you. It doesn't commit you at this point to doing the business. But because you're on ER, if you happen to purchase more than 100 PV in any given month, you are going to earn a thank you check from Young Living. And it'll be a small one because I'm the one that's placing the people under you, but it can help you with your shipping or it can help you get a free oil or that kind of stuff. Would that be okay? And again, most people are like, yeah, sure. Like, as long as they don't really have to do anything like in the beginning because they're kind of overwhelmed and they just got their kit, most people will still say yes, right? So then what we're going to look at is we've now signed these people up. And again, nobody knows each other. Nobody has connections. Nobody's like best friends with anybody else right now. We're not going to talk that scenario right now. But we have all these people that in her first 2 months, she has now signed up these people. However, this person right here, so that, well, let's start with this one, right? So this person right here was just signed up in like, we'll do month 1. I'll put ones in them and we'll put month 2 for 2s, okay? So this was a month 2, this was a month 1, month 2, month 1, 1, and 2, okay? Now, of the 2s, because they just signed up in the same month as this person, and again, the rule is going to be 30 days that you have to move somebody. These 2s, our little star up here is now going to say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and move them because that is a good strategic move to start her first leg. She doesn't need all these people on her level 1, right? Because all these people on her level 1 are not going to help her progress or build to the next rank of senior star or to the next rank of executive and then silver and above. Because when you get to executive, there is a certain amount of legs that are required. So in this case, we are going to go ahead and move them. So we're going to say, okay, well, I'm now going to put them under this person here, okay? So they're no longer on my level 1. I've now moved them to my level 2, okay? So here I go. I've now moved them to the level 2. And we get really lucky because in this case, this person here and that person there both signed up at the very end of month 1. So they're actually still within their 30 days. So guess what? We're going to go ahead and move them also because they're still within their 30 days and they're still able to be moved. So we're going to go ahead and move them also. But hold on, I'll make them blue so we don't get confused, okay? So we're going to go ahead and move them also because they're within their 30 days. So again, this was our month 2 people right here. These are our month 2s. This is our month 1s, okay? But you can see we're actually starting to form a downline. Not just this linear big line across and everything else. We're actually starting to form a downline, okay? So then we're going to go for month 3, right? So month 3, she ends up signing up, which let me see if I can find another color that you guys can actually see. Can you see that green? Yeah, like okay, kinda. That's too close to red. Okay, well, we're just going with black. You guys will have to deal with me. Or here, we'll go with red circles. We'll do it. Okay, month 3. Month 3 is going to be red circles. So then in month 3, she signs up 4 more people because she is just so excited now. So she's like, I'm signing up 4 more people, and because she really loves the Help 5 prize that month and she's so super excited about it, she also enrolls this person on ER and she enrolls this person on ER. Okay? So she is now like, yes, I got my Help 5, I got my people, I'm super excited, everything else. So in this case, we have this person right here is month 3, this person's month 3, this person's month 3, and this one is. Okay? So I have these 2 on ER from month 3, and I have this one in the middle on ER from month 2. So where am I going to put my 4 people that I just have? Where am I going to put them? Feel free to unmute yourself if you guys want.
So I could answer. I would probably leave the 2 people that are on ER on my first level and stack underneath those and start the next 2 legs. But that's what I would probably do.
Yay! Good job. No, that's exactly what you want to do because you're so new at this point that anyone who's showing potential interest, meaning they went on ER right away, granted, that's never a guarantee, right? I mean, we've had people go on ER right away just because they really love to save money and they're excited by the, promos. And then for whatever reason, they're like, I'm really excited about my oils, but definitely don't want to sell them or whatever, right? But this is your first indication. So yes, in that case, you are going to have the same conversation with them. You're going to have the same conversation. You're going to say, hey, again, we like to help each other. We like to, assist. We're a community. We work together, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to say, would it be okay? Okay? And again, more than likely people are going to say yes, as long as you tell them like nothing changes. You're keeping them as like for you. You're keeping, them as your personal enrollments. You're the person that's going to be helping them. You're the person that's doing those things. But you just want to know that like, it's okay that you're building.
Real quick, let's stop and talk about that because a lot of people think because we place them underneath, and this is in general, I've heard it in people in Grow too, we place people underneath that it's now their people rather than your enrollments, and it gets kind of like, they're my, what do I do with them? How do I help them because they're not my enrollments? So how does that work? I'd love for you to.
So I feel until somebody has actually committed to the business, like officially said, I'm in it, I'm doing it, I want to do this, and I feel like I can assist or I can take that on, or, they're studying within the groups and reading the information, then I never put that on anybody. And the truth is, I have people that say they're doing the business, but they're not, if that makes sense. Again, we talked about that. That's like those people that every 6 months they might sign somebody up, but they're not active in any of the groups. They're not really learning. They don't really know what's happening with Young Living or the new policies or things coming out. So in that case, I personally keep them as mine until I know the person they're placed under is truly invested and capable of that. And then at that point, that's when I say to them, hey, by the way, remember a long time ago when I placed, A, B, and C under you? And we talked about, it just being a thank you check and you can put it towards your shipping or whatever you want to do. Well, at this point, now that you're going to be actively doing the business and you've signed a few people up and you seem to have, got an understanding of it or a grasp on it, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to those people. Because up until this point, odds are they've never had contact, or odds are they've never talked, or, those kind of things. And so I'll just say, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you now, because now that you are doing the business, it's good for, Sally and Marsha and Jan to know that they have another person they can come to in case they need something and I'm not available. And I kind of word it that way. I never flat out, well, I shouldn't say never, because I'm sure there's been a time I did, but I try to have it be a team effort at that point, not just a passing on to the next person. So there are certain people, like for instance, one of my girls in Tucson who I absolutely love to death, and I work a ton with her. Like, we have actually people that I signed up, but that are under her, who she has now become better friends with and everything else. And that is fine, because again, I introduced them once she was doing the business and once she was active. I introduced them and I was like, hey, this is another person that's here to help you. This is another person that's here to guide you, whatever you need. You know, if I'm not available, go ahead and ask her. And you know what? Sometimes people just click better too. You know, they just happen to click better with somebody else, or they find out they have things in common, you know, and then they're like, oh, hey, our kids actually go to the same school and we didn't even know it, or, you know, whatever. And so I never hesitate to introduce them, but once they have that commitment for doing the business. If it is literally just that they're on ER and I want to place people under them, then I make sure I explain to them that they have no responsibility for the person. And I think that that helps clear it up from the very beginning, because I will even say to them sometimes, hey, and if later down the road you ever decide to do the business or whatever it is, I will gladly go ahead and like introduce you, or, you know, whatever, to our community and to the people below you and whatever it is. And so then we can discuss how to make this business more your own versus me just like putting people there. Perfect. So I think that that helps. Did that clear
that's
up?
perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, somebody else has a question.
Okay. So with this, so let's say we have our 3, right? Our 4 that are here. But let's say, just for the sake of argument, let's say that you talk to this lady right here and that she says, you know what, I'm not comfortable with you putting people below me. Like, I haven't even really explored the oils. I have no idea. I just wanted the promos this month. Like, I don't even know that I'll stay on ER, you know, whatever, right? So in that case, let's say that that's what this girl says. So I would then strategically decide not to put somebody under her. Just because, again, she's kind of a wild card. You never know, whatever it is. But this lady over here was totally like, yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Do what you want. She's clearly blue. This one's clearly green. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead. Sorry. I know Jen hates it when I pick on greens. So I'm going to go ahead and move this one and move this one right here. Right here. Okay. And I am going to put them over here. Okay. And again, they signed up in month 3. Okay. So I have technically a person over here, but she's not a leg. So you're not going to refer to her as a leg. You're not going to say, oh, I have 3 legs, because she's not a leg, right? And don't forget, you have this person right here and you have this person right here. So technically on your level 1 right now, you have these 5 people on your level 1, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on your level 1. However, of those, you have now started to develop your 2 legs. So this is guiding you now towards your senior star, towards executive, towards silver, that kind of stuff, right? Because you have started your 2 legs. And you are going to continue on this pattern. So like, then we decide you sign up people in month 4. Okay, this is month 4. And you sign up these people here. And let's do this person here. Okay, so these are in month 4. You're signing up these people in month 4. And then this person over here decides to go on ER. Okay, this person over here goes on ER. However, they told you that they have zero interest in the business whatsoever, that their husband is adamant against MLMs. He almost didn't even let them buy the kit because it was an MLM. He totally is just like not supportive whatsoever. And his sister is the queen of doTERRA, and his mom is
Tamara, are you still there?
Would you place people under her if that was kind of the attitude coming in? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Okay.
You're good now.
All of a sudden it said unstable and the whole thing. So,
Yeah,
okay.
we lost you for a second, but it looks okay.
I'm just kidding.
You're good.
Okay. So in this case, I was saying how like, it's just, she has every story under the sun on like why her whole family's against MLMs or something. So would she be somebody that would be good to strategically place under? No, because she's kind of a wild card at that point, right? Just like this girl was a wild card. So now you're going to say, well, this girl here and this girl here, even though they're ER, they both have clearly told you they have zero interest in the business, right? So what we're going to do with them, because she's still within her 30 days, and this one just signed up this month, so she's within her 30. We're going to go ahead and place them under one of your legs that you're trying to build, because there's no reason to leave these people on your level one if they have adamantly been like, I will never, ever, ever do this business, which granted, some of the greatest people in this company, just so you guys know, have come from the adamantly, I will never do this business, right? Yeah. I think I told Carol maybe like nothing short of 10 plus times that I had no interest. And like I said, I kept sending people her way instead, right? There are definitely, Monique said she would never do the business and told Kelly, right, never to talk to her about the business ever. So it's like, I mean, right? But we're going to go ahead and place these people because they're not great candidates to leave on our level one at this point, because they're giving you every signal not to count on them, right? Do not count on me being a business person later on. So we are going to go ahead and place them. Now, of this level right here, so this is your level 2, okay? Of your level 2, right now, no one on that level 2 is on ER. So do we think that anybody on that level 2 is a good candidate to place anybody under? No, because none of them are on ER, unless they have given you some crazy indication. Like I did have one girl one time say to me that she was really had like genuine interest in this business, but that this time right now was not appropriate money-wise for her to like join ER or do that kind of stuff. And that she was really going to have to, you know, like look more into the ditch and switch lifestyle and whatever. So in that case, she maybe would be somebody that I would consider placing people under. But again, it would have to be an individual situation, not something like this where we're trying to like teach it. It'd have to be one of those individual where you're like, okay, I've known her since kindergarten. I really trust her. I just understand this is like not appropriate this month for her, whatever it may be. And then you need to decide that way too. Maybe talk to your upline about it. But in this case, nobody is on ER. So I am just going to go ahead and I am going to take my little month 4 person and I am going to place them right here. And again, they're on ER. And I am going to take my month 3 person and I am going to now place her over here. Okay? Because again, she's on ER, but they both gave me indication that they absolutely have no interest whatsoever in building a business. Okay? So I took them off my level 1s. They don't need to be there. Now I still have these 3 little outsiders out here that I need to place somewhere strategically, right? So again, I'm looking kind of a little heavier in this leg than I am in this one right now. So that's where I kind of strategically say, well, when I get to executive, you have to have 2 legs, each at 1,000. So nobody else has given me any indications. Nobody else knows each other, whatever it may be. So at this point, my best bet is to try to keep everything as equal as possible, right? So we are trying to place them as equal as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and put one of my 4s over here. And then I'm going to do my next 4 over here. And then I have one more 4 up here that I can then choose, because now we're at 5 and 5. So this is where my last 4 is going to come in play, right? I'm going to look strategically at these people, and I'm going to say, well, you know what? This one over here already has an ER. So that's an already guaranteed PV to go into that leg each month, right? This one over here doesn't have any. So for right now, I'm going to put my extra 4 over here, hoping that one of these people is going to end up deciding to do ER and just love their lives, right? So now we're going into month 5, okay? Month 5. Is everybody still hanging with me? Is there any questions so far? Okay. So now we're going into month 5. So for month 5, right? Month 5 is huge. Month 5 happens to be October, and it just is like awesome. And you have 6 over here, okay? And you get 3 with ERs, okay? And then you have 3 without. Everybody with me? Okay. These people, again, we ask them the same questions. We see if they're interested, everything else. And 2 of them actually were like, yes, sure, place below me. And one of those 2 actually said, I want to do the business right away, right? Everybody's dream. I want to do the business. Yes, let's do it, right? So in that case, this person right here is going to be our, yeah, you can place people below me. This person right here is going to be our super excited and wants to do the business. And this person right here is just ER. Okay. And then we have these over here that are not ER, but they signed up for their kit and everything else. So just referring to these 3 right here, obviously we would place under the one that's excited and says, I want to do the business, count me in, right? But here's what I want to know from you guys. Would you place all 6 under your excited, I want to do the business, like count me in? Or would you try to spread them out a little? Or what would your theory be on this? You have 6 that you can place. 3 are ERs. 1 is excited, business. 1 said you can place under me if you would like, but isn't convinced about the business. And 1 said, nope, no business, but is still on ER. And then you have your 3 over there. So what would you guys do?
I would move the 2 that are going to be on ER but don't want to build the business over here to this leg that you have your 6. Yeah.
Okay.
And get somebody over there on ER so you can start building under somebody over there.
Okay.
And then I'd put these other 3 under your ER person over here that wants to do the business.
Over here. Okay. Anybody else?
I'm trying not to answer.
Yeah. I'll let you answer.
I can't.
I'll let you answer before I answer.
I
Okay.
can't see.
You can't see?
Okay, I'll put it
No,
back.
like it keeps. There. Now I can. Now you're there. Okay.
I'm trying to let Tamara see everybody too.
I know. I'm like, okay. Anybody
Now
else?
you said that there are 6 people that you're ready to sign up, right?
6 people just signed up. So we have our 3 over here who are not ER, and we have our 3 over here who are ER. 1 which said it would be fine to place people below her, but she's not sold on the business. 1 that says that she is totally sold on the business and sign up whomever, right? And then this one says, nope, no thank you on the business, but I'll do ER.
And your other 2 legs are solid?
Well, this one has 1 ER person but again, is one of those that's not necessarily like building the business right now. And this one has no ERs in their second level.
I'd probably, well, the one that's excited, I would definitely place under her. But where I would also place is if I need to generate OGV in the other ones, I'm gonna fill in where I'm gonna need to fill in.
Okay. Okay, Wendy.
One that's not excited, give her the ones that don't want the ER. Just to put them somewhere.
Not excited, this one?
Yeah, the one that doesn't, they don't want, she doesn't care. Give her the ones that don't want the ER because you're just going to put them somewhere because she's not excited.
Okay.
And then the ones that are excited, help her build ones that want something.
Okay.
And then you can come back later to the ones that don't care and later, hopefully maybe build that later.
Okay. Okay, anybody else before Wendy and I go? I love this though, because do you see how 3 people just literally gave 3 different opinions? And they were similar, but they were still different. So that's the thing is like, even if when I chime in and I give you my opinion, you may disagree and you will be like, I think Tamara's crazy. Like that doesn't make any sense, whatever it is. And all I can tell you is that honestly, this is not a foolproof method. We never know who's going to be a rock star and who isn't. We never know if somebody who says that they're all in and they're super excited is then going to all like have life hit them, with the door, and then they all of a sudden are out. I had one girl on my team who, no joke, she was a blogger. She came into this business and was so excited, and I was convinced she was going to be Royal Crown Diamond in like 5 months. I mean, she came in, her very first month, she sold 27 kits. And she was a blogger. And she just she had all these connections. She was social media. She was all this stuff. And she continued on that path. I mean, she sold like 27 and then 17 and then 20 and then 15. And it continued for about 6 or 7 months. Problem was though, she didn't know any of these people. And nobody was coming in saying they wanted to do the business. And at that time, ER was a little bit more difficult, like in regards to, there wasn't as much offered as quickly and as incentives to get people on it. And she did have some success with ER, but not a ton in the beginning. So we had her go ahead and sign up her mom and her sister just so she had people to start placing all these bazillion kits under, because she literally had a bazillion kits, right? Well, then the whole compliance thing changed. And that's when, like a few years ago, the whole FDA reign came down like really, really hard. And because she was a blogger, she got contacted and asked to remove literally like every Young Living blog she had written, because honestly, none of them were compliant. But at the time, she wrote them. And so she went through this extreme identity crisis. Like, well, I can't even talk about oils now. I can't even talk about them. So I can't sell them and I can't do anything. And most of the people she had signed up again were not even people she knew. These were all people off social media. And so she literally shut down. Like she just shut down. She was like, nope, I'm out. I'm done, whatever. I never, ever would have counted her as somebody that would have done that, right? But she did, because she felt like she had reached the rank of executive. She was almost silver. She had the OGV for it and everything. And she just said, I'm out. She's like, I'm out. Like this, I can't be me. I can't talk about it the way I want to. I can't whatever. And sadly, she actually came back like a year later once she finally like figured out how she could still talk about it and still work it in and everything else. But by then, most her people she had signed up had gone inactive and stuff because they didn't have anyone guiding them or leading them or things like that. So again, that's another good reason why we try to establish with people that we have a community of people and a community that can help them and get them in the Facebook groups and get them involved, so that way in case the enroller does go rogue, but there is somebody in that downline that is excited and wants to be involved, they can still be involved. Okay? So that's just total side note. Sorry that was like whatever. But I'm just saying, this is never a foolproof, like, because Tamara said, if this person's excited, I should place people. Like, that's not what I'm saying, obviously. Like, but again, we have to kind of read those social cues, and we have to kind of base it best knowledge at the time. You know, at the time, we have to trust like what people are saying, and then just hope we give them the guidance and things, and then they will jump on. So just kind of like Tammy was saying, maybe this person will then become excited, and then we can move them, you know, or whatever. So, okay, Wendy.
Okay, just really quick. So I don't know if everybody's probably 9:30 most everybody else's time. So we'll go to about 9:30, and then we'll have Tamara just get back on when we have to figure this out a little bit more. So everybody has to get to work tomorrow. Okay, so we'll just go like 8 more minutes. So if that's okay, and then we'll do this again. Okay. So I personally would probably start a new leg with the Excited Business Builder. And I would place probably one person that's ER and 2 people with volume underneath that one. And so I would start at least one leg there, and I'd probably stick one ER, maybe even 2 people. Yeah, I might even stick one of the ERs underneath her, 2 people underneath them, and then move one of the ERs to the other group so that there's some consistent volume.
Okay, so I actually love what you guys all said, but honestly, and I've been working a lot with Wendy, so I'm glad to hear that she's like totally like, but I actually agree most with the strategy that Wendy was saying. And here's why, okay? This person right here is the one that says, I'm gung-ho, I am in it, I am super excited, count me in, right? So technically, they are like self-motivated, okay? So because they're self-motivated, yes, I would love to place somebody under them just because it's their first month and, you know, it's really fun to kind of like just get started somehow. But the truth is, there is no self-motivated person in this leg that we know of right now, and there is no self-motivated person in this leg either right now that we know of. So the idea would be to try to establish somehow a self-motivated business person in one of these legs too. So what I would do is take my excited person and I would give them 2 of my kits that are over here, just because I want to give them something, you know, for them being super excited and for them just starting and everything else. But again, they're excited to do the business. They are, you know, self-motivated at this time. They are saying, hey, get me all the training videos, whatever I can. I am ready to do this, right? They're even talking about already, you know, signing up like their best friend and maybe their mom. So I would give them 2 of my sales from over there. Maybe, and this is a maybe even my 3rd kit sale from over there too. Just, you know, kind of depending on PV wise and the whole thing, maybe to get them to that star and be like, oh my gosh, you're only 100 away from star now. You know, like if you sell 1 kit this month, that'll get you there. And they might be super motivated to go ahead and do that, right? But I would go ahead and at least give them 2 of my just kits to get them started, somebody below them, somebody excited. This girl is the one that said, it's okay to place people under me. I'm just not totally sold on the business yet. So I'm going to place her in this leg over here because this leg over here does not have an ER person yet. So there is nobody technically to place under. And right now, this person over here has 6 people on their level 1. 6 people on their level 1. We don't need any more really on their level 1. We need to start forming a leg that we can actually place people under, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and I'll put her as ER just for the sake of my little drawing here, okay? So that way I can keep going. But, so we're going to take off this person over here now, and then because this person that I just took off said, it's okay to place people under me. Like, sure, sounds good. I'm going to place this kit sale over here under them. Okay. So that's my 5 over there. So now we are forming an actual leg under the leg, right? So the idea is not to be this linear long thing. And the idea is not to be having like 1,000 little pods of people that just sell like 1 or 2 or 3. The idea is to form like actual cohesive legs that stay together, right? Now, granted, you can't control if somebody randomly signs up like their mom and their sister and they put them below them and then they say, yeah, but I'm not interested in the business. Don't put anyone else below me. Okay, well, in that case, your downline will have like those little pods in them, and mine has it too. But the idea is we are trying to actually form groups here. We're trying to form groups that cohesively will make legs, not like 3 people here and 2 here and 3 here and 2 here and 3 there. And then all of a sudden you have one person that has like 14 people because they have no business person to put under. That's when the ER people come in play, okay? So I have my last ER person right here. Now this person was the one that signed up for ER but said, nope, no interest in the business, please, whatever, like don't place anybody under me. I'm not interested. What would you guys possibly do with this person?
So I've had people that have said that to me, and I've left them on my level 1 only because I don't want anyone else having the opportunity to place under them. So that's why I've kept them there.
Okay. That's interesting.
I have quite a few people that are under me that work for the government and cannot have any other sort of income, and so they can't. I don't want anyone else being able to have their fingers in there and possibly cause them to go off of ER and all that because someone didn't honor that they needed to not have anyone under them.
Okay, so in that case, then yes, Jen, your explanation makes total sense. If somebody, let's say, was on disability and they said, I absolutely cannot make an income, I am not interested whatsoever, then yes, Jen's logic makes total sense because you wouldn't want somehow, some way that to accidentally get screwed up later, right? Young Living at some point does do strategic placements on their own, you know, for people that sign up without enrollers. So technically you have to be the rank, it used to be the rank of executive, silver, gold, or platinum, and they would place strategically under you based on helping, you know, where they felt would help your rank. However, August 1st, it is now just executive, silver, or gold. So apparently once you get to platinum, they don't think you need the help, but I'm really boo on that idea. But anyways, so with that, that makes great sense in what Jen said. But let's pretend that that's not the case. Let's pretend that they can earn an income, and they actually probably should earn an income because they're constantly complaining about not having enough money and they have kind of one of those like poverty mindset things. But they just, at this point, they're just kind of like, no, don't put anyone under me. No. So in that case, I personally would put them under my excited girl, but then just give her the warning. And I would tell her, hey, at this time, they said not to place anybody under them. I just want to make sure that you have that stable ER for next month. Like, I want to make sure you have some sort of money or PV, OGV under you next month. So I would place her under, you know, my motivated business girl. Just because, again, having somebody on that stable ER. And I'm hoping this girl will change her mind later. I'm hoping she's going to change her mind. And, you know, 3 months from now, when we revisit the idea again, because she has been purchasing almost 300 PV every month, then we're going to revisit it. And then at that point, she will probably say yes and be like, yes, place people under me. Why not, right? But for the sake of this, okay, we've stayed at star this whole time as we've been kind of rearranging, right? As we've been rearranging and everything else. Now, the truth is, before this person came into play right here, could we have been the rank of executive? I better see everybody saying yes.
It all depends on the OGV that's being spent.
Right. So technically, again, the OGV, there is a chance that it wouldn't have been high enough to get us to our 4,000, okay? 4,000 for executive. However, let's just say that the OGV is high enough, okay? Because somebody over here purchased 300 and 300 and 300, and this person purchased 500 and then 100, 100. So each of these legs, let's just say for the sake right now, each of the legs is at 2,500, okay? Am I executive?
Only if you have.
Am I executive?
Need the extra volume.
You have the 1,000 OGB, your PGB.
Nope, only when you get to silver.
Oh,
Oh, then yeah.
yeah.
Only when you get to silver. See, come on, plan. Memorize. No, so only when you get to silver or above does PGV, which again is that personal group volume, come into play. Prior to silver, it is straight up OGV and then the number of legs. So that is all that part matters for, right? So you need 2 legs, okay? You need 2 legs at 1,000 OGV. And then you need 4,000 OGV total, okay? 4,000 OGV total. So in this case, I have 2,500 here, 2,500 here. Again, this leg doesn't exist yet, right? So that's 5,000. So do I meet the requirements for executive?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Just straight up the way it is right now. I meet them, right? So then going into my month 5 is when I magically found this girl, right? And this girl is like, woo, I am so excited to be here and everything else. And like, look at me, I'm great, right? I am super excited to come into this business. So as we're in month 5, right? These legs actually both, let's just keep them at consistent 2,500. Because again, they're having people randomly order. There's a couple ERs that are like stuck in there, here and there. But again, there's not really active business people. So it's not growing all crazy yet or whatever. However, in that month 5, my excited girl also decided to kind of go crazy and sign up some people and was really excited. So she went ahead and she signed up more people here and more people here. Okay. So she signs up all these people now. So her OGV for the month, because she just gangbusters. We all want this person, right? Her OGV for the month becomes 5,000. Okay? 5,000. Super excited. OGV. So now it would put me at, okay, 5,000 here and 5,000 here. It puts me at 10,000.
Right.
Would I make silver?
No, because you need 2 legs at 4,000 each.
Perfect. Yay! Okay. So for silver, you need, so now we're going to go silver. You need 2 legs, but you need them at 4,000 each, and you need 10,000 total. However, you also need a 1,000 PGV. Okay? So not only am I not making silver because I don't have 2 legs. I only have 1 above the 4,000. But I also do not have 1,000 PGV. Okay, because the only people I still have this little person here, and I still have this little person here, and I still have myself, okay, to count in my PGV. However, then we look at it and we say, wait a second, she only needs 2 legs, right? Again, right here, 2 legs. So why doesn't one of these legs count as my PGV? It does. It does, because it's silver needing 2 legs. Okay, so any of my 3 legs at this point could count as my 4,000.
Right.
And then whatever the extra leg I have would be this person here, plus this person here, plus me, and then whichever the extra leg is, okay? So let's just say that this leg ends up having 2 more ER signups, and now they are at 4,500, okay?
Silver.
Now do I make silver?
Yes.
And which leg is my PGV leg now?
The 2,500.
Very good. So my 2,500 is now my PGV leg. And it will continue to be my PGV leg until I build all the way to gold.
Right.
So the idea is that I'm hoping at this point, like we're in month 5, we're going to be going into month 6 type thing. I would hope at this point that there's going to be another person that somehow I can start building under and I can start growing under. Now, if there isn't anybody though, does that mean I should just start haphazardly throwing people on my level 1 and trying to like put 2s here and put 3s there and whatever just because I need another leg?
No.
No. It means that I have 3 legs, and technically at gold, okay, so we have gold here. At gold, I need 3 legs that equal, for gold, anybody?
6,000.
Good, thank you, Tammy. 6,000 OGV for what total?
35,000.
Thank you. 35,000 OGV total. And I still need my 1,000 PGV, okay? So I could technically, with the exact way my downline looks right now, if the OGV in each of these were higher, like let's say this is actually 12,500, this one's 14,500, and this one's 15,000, right? I technically, with my downline right now, the way it looks, could make gold as far as the legs go, because I have 3 legs. They're all above 6,000. The total for everything is above the 35,000. However, my 1,000 PGV. So again, that would be myself and those 2 people right here. And then let's just say I happen to have another person here and another person here that I signed up this month. Like I just signed them up this month. And so I'm like, wow, shoot. They each have 300 OGV, plus then you put this person's 300 and mine all together. That gives me over 1,000.
Yeah.
So technically you would make gold, right? But do you want to leave those people on your level 1? Do you want to move them? Do you want to say, hey, I'm going to leave these on my level 1 and maybe they'll sign up later because I need them as PGV? That is going to be the choice that I can't make for you. That's going to be the choice that your upline can't make for you. We can guide you and say, hey, this person decided that they want to do ER. They also said that they are like cool with somebody like placing under them, but they don't have any interest in the business. So in that case, that person might really be somebody to leave on your level 1. Because again, you can start placing them.
So this is so good but I'm going to have to stop you.
Yeah.
We're just way over time. So I'm just going to have to stop you. We'll stop at gold and we'll just have you come back because this is so good. I think everybody's starting to click with where to place people and how to ask the questions. And, I think the interview questions of how to really ask that is going to be, I think that's one of the things that I know I missed. I didn't ask people. I said, hey, can I place underneath you? And they said yes. And that was it. And they, like you said, they're a paycheck rather than a business builder. So, yep.
Yeah, I mean, you want them to know that's where, like, in the very beginning, I talked about that referral link. You want them to know that it is there. And I'm going to be placing people below you, and you could do the same, and Young Living will send you this thank you check, and those kind of things. Like, you want them to know it's there. You want them to know that what they've already purchased enables them to be able to get that thank you check. Like, you want to tell them that. You don't want to do it in this crazy salesy way that like scares them away and they're, oh, it's required and whatever. But, you want to tell them. So are there any questions about this before we go, though? I will promise to answer it really quick if there is. But
No, I'm good. Thank you.
no? Okay. Does this help at least make a little more sense to people and kind of like how to kind of think through strategically placing? Because again, business-wise, this is not a foolproof method, but the last thing you really want is to have like 15 or 20 people all on your level one just because you say, I don't have a business person yet. I don't have somebody. Well, if you have someone on ER, you have a candidate for somebody, so you have a candidate to place them. Same thing in some of your legs. I know we all love to build under friends or family or people that we feel like we really want to help. But honestly, sometimes by not like really looking at it again with our head more than our heart, we actually end up not helping that person and not helping us because our business isn't growing the way it could have been. In turn, not helping them grow the way it could be. So it's kind of, it's a fine balance, but, obviously the more of the comp plan you understand, the easier it'll be to kind of understand where your money is coming from. And I will help do a series for you guys on where your money is coming from, but that's going to have to be like a whole, once you get this, then I can talk to you about where your money is coming from.
Okay.
And that'll be easier.
Thank you so much, Tamara.
You're welcome. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I know it was long and we started a little late, but